Hey guys, it's Chef Gibby and welcome back to another episode of The Kid in the Kitchen. Today, I am making my world famous Borelli burgers. I've made these at tons of events. I've made them at cooking classes, fundraisers, on TV shows, like you name it, they've been somewhere. And so I'm reinventing the burger. I know a lot of people say don't reinvent the wheel, but this burger, I tweaked it just a little bit, so this is an even better version. And what it's got is it's got bacon burger patties, it's got sauteed onions and mushrooms, and it's got an herb mayonnaise all stacked on a nice bun. So let's get started. So what I'm gonna do is I partially cooked and chopped up bacon. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna take a handful, just eyeball it. I always leave some because, and you can always add, but with making burgers, it's hard to take away. And so I'm just gonna mix in the bacon to the burger patties. And the reason I partially cook the bacon is because if you put it in raw, when you grill it, the burger and the bacon are not gonna cook at the same pace. And you'll end up getting kind of fatty bacon because it hasn't had time to cook all the way through, and well done burgers. So it's all about timing. And you wanna mix this in, and you don't want it to be too much. If you can feel it when you're doing this, if you can feel it with every flip, it is a lot better. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some salt and pepper, put that in, and you just wanna fold it. You don't wanna overwork it, but you want it to get enough so that it's combined. And then, before you do anything, wash your hands. Cross-contamination, you do not wanna touch raw meat or raw food. So now I'm gonna grab my secret ingredient to my burgers, sriracha sauce. Just add a little swirl. And then my burger technique for folding is you fold in, press, and flip. Fold in, press, and flip. And then you can start breaking it down. But whenever you're introducing a new ingredient, always put it in the center and then fold, press, and flip. That's actually the technique for kneading bread. You gotta work it in. You just wanna mix this up. Normally I would say taste what you're mixing, but you kinda can't unless this is a tartare. So we have it in a nice ball, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna let this set, and then we're gonna start forming our burger patties. So I'm gonna move these over here. Yikes. Wash our hands. And now we're gonna start on our onion, mushroom, kind of sauteed. And so what I did is I took the bacon fat from cooking the bacon, and I preserved it. So now I'm gonna turn on this fan. So we're gonna grab our onions and mushrooms, and you just wanna saute them. And then when they're done, I might add a little bit of bacon to them, who knows? Just wanna get it coated in that bacon fat. Impressive, right? Just a little bit of salt and pepper. You don't want to put a lot of salt in this. If it's too salty, it'll taste funky and it'll taste salty. So we're gonna grab our next bowl, and now we're gonna work on our herb mayonnaise. And this herb mayonnaise is something else. I always go to the market in Union Square and get these kind of nice plants. And so I use whatever herbs I can find in this herb mayonnaise. So it's always changing, but we're gonna use sage, basil, tarragon, thyme, and rosemary in this. And so first we take our mayo, start to whisk it a little bit, and then I add a little bit of sriracha, and it also kind of gives that a nice color tint too. It makes it almost orange. I can always tell heat level based on tint, and I always like to make it just a little spicy, but the dairy from it kind of cuts it, but you always want it to be a little spicy so it has that nice interesting note. So now we're gonna go gardening. Pick off just a couple leaves of sage, about 3, a couple leaves of basil, a couple leaves of tarragon, and this is so nice because you have fresh herbs right in your kitchen, like literally right in your kitchen. Okay. The rosemary, and my trick for rosemary is I always like to find, because normally these comes with 2 stalks. I don't know if it did come with 2. Oh, but I used it. So what you do is you start from the top and you push down. And it catches everything. So the last thing we need is our thyme. We're just gonna break that up. And now we're gonna get chopping. So I'm gonna start first off with the thyme, and you really don't want any of the stems to be in there because they're very tough. And if you catch that, it'll get stuck in your teeth. And these are already pretty small, but you do want to run through it once or twice. Okay. So we have them. Add that in. Now we're gonna chiffonade. What chiffonade is, you stack them all up. You roll it up, almost like you're like rolling like a sleeping bag. And then what I'm gonna do for this, I cut it down the center, and then I cut down the other way, like that. I'm gonna add this in. And all these herbs are very fragrant. That's why I'm not adding a lot of them. If I were to add a very kind of dull spice, kind of like dill, not that dill is very dull, but it's not one of my favorite spices. So it's not one of my favorite spices to use. And when I do use it, a lot of people tend to like it, so I put a lot in. And that's why a lot of people like dill pickles, because you get that punch of dill. Oop, stem. Don't want stems. This one you want to be very diligent in chopping, because no one likes a huge leaf of something so powerful like rosemary. By the way, parents, don't let your kids go so fast, because I know when I was first starting out and did this, I cut my finger plenty of times. I cut my finger earlier today chopping something. So be very, 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 very careful. So like there's still, I just like even to separate them out, the leaves that are not chopping, and just chop them up. Get our rosemary. Get our tarragon. Just like rosemary, make sure that it's chopped fine, and really work to chop it. And sometimes, like right now, it's not even chopping, so I pick it up and I tear it. This is what I call my herb ripping dance. And now we're going to take our basil leaves, and just like the sage leaves, we're going to chiffonade them. Stack them. I like to go biggest to largest with this. Then we're going to roll it, cut it in half, and then we'll cut it down the center. And you don't want to go over this too many times because it can bruise it, but you want to be very careful with basil. And now we're just gonna mix it up. Perfect. It's good. This one, the sage a little bit more prevalent, but I actually do like sage. I was just trying to pinpoint what spice that was. Perfect. This actually looks really good. Actually, where is my olive oil? So what I like to do is, if I see that it's looking a little bit thick, I do just kind of stream in a little bit of olive oil to kind of loosen it up. And that's how they normally make aiolis, which mayo is based off of. It's egg and oil, and they make an immersion of it. So I do like to beat it up a little bit just so it kind of gets a little bit more liquidy. That's perfect. So I just want to give our onions RIP. And you want to get them past the point where they're translucent. I'm going to amp the heat on them. You can see that they're getting kind of translucent. Okay, that was too close. And I like to just take about the size of my palm and flatten it out. Maybe some people do this. I don't find it as efficient as just kind of smushing it. Cooking and music go nice together. Whenever I'm cooking, I always put on music. And so right now, what I've got amping through my speakers is the 1975, also an artist Lapesley and Laney. I'll put all of the links to their websites and to their iTunes pages down below. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put some salt, make it rain. And then I do just drizzle a little bit of olive oil. And then you just work that onto the tops of each burger. I do hear some nice sizzling noises behind me. I'm gonna go check that out. First, wash my hands. Perfect. That looks good. I always just kind of like to let these sit until we're ready to eat. So now all I have to do is go grill these burgers. So let's head out. So here we are back at my grill, and we are gonna put the burgers on. So I just got it, and so I put oil on it, oil side down. And the key to a good burger is you never flip it more than once. And then when you see the brown kind of creep up halfway, you're gonna flip them. And now we wait. Ooh, that's so hot, oh my God. Look at these burgers. So, they've been flipped, they're cooking. I just turned it off. I'm gonna place a piece of cheese on each. You have to do it really quickly. So the mushroom and onions are done, so I'm just gonna take them and move them to a bowl. And now, just because we have a little extra, gonna take the bacon. And we're gonna mix the bacon, the mushroom, and the onions to get this kind of duxelle, like Borelli style duxelle. That's a French term for garlic, onions, and mushrooms, kind of a paste. Oh my God, that's so good. You got like, it tastes bacony, but then you get the caramelized onions. Ooh, it's so good. Oh. So now I think we're ready to assemble. So we are going to take our buns. We're going to take our herb mayonnaise, take a dollop of it, and I only put it on one side. Then a burger. Then a little bit of this bacon, onion, mushroom, and it's okay if it falls off. Food is not good without a mess. And it is done. So all that's left to do is, You know what? This is one of the simplest but best burgers. Just each component makes this burger so delicious. I'm like drooling from the mouth. It's that good. Hold on, I think I have food in my teeth. Hold on. You get that nice juicy burger with the bacon, and then you get the nice caramelized onions, and then you get to top it all off, you get that creamy kind of herb mayonnaise that just, oh my God. You know what? I just need to go in for another bite. And this burger, my entire family loves it because there's no reason not to. But especially because like my mom and sister get the vegetables, and then my brother loves the bacon, and then me and my dad just love it all together. So thank you guys for watching another episode of Kid in the Kitchen. I'm Gibson Borelli, and I hope you had so much fun and enjoyed watching me make this burger, and I hope you guys try it. If you do end up trying and making this, please tweet me, Instagram me, Facebook me. All my links are down in the description. Please send me photos. I'm out of breath. That burger was so good. Well, I will see you guys on a brand new episode of The Kid in the Kitchen next time. I'm Gibson Borelli, and see you guys later.